Hello children, hope you all are fit and fine. Okay, let's move to the chapter 6, kites. Children, the story is all about the kites, how they were made and from where they have come. The writer is Brinda Datta. She is an author of children's stories and she is also a teacher and has taught in Darjeeling as well as New Delhi. So, let's see. People in India celebrate the coming of spring by flying kites. From mid January to mid February, someone somewhere is flying a kite in a park, from a terrace, or on the rooftop of a house. Soon the sky is filled with these flimsy pieces of colored paper, rising higher and higher, until they seem like colored jewels in the fabric of the sky. See, in India, people celebrate the coming of spring by flying kites, and it is done from the mid of January to mid of February. And everywhere the people are, everywhere people flying, people are seen flying kites. Okay, like in a park or from their terrace or on the rooftop of a house, and the sky is filled with these colorful kites. Okay, but nobody knows for sure when the first kite was flown. But nobody knows that from where the kite has come, uh, where the concept has come. Historians believe that kites first appeared in China more than 2000 years ago. Historians, they are the experts, they do researches. Okay, and it's their belief that kites first appeared in China, and that is also more than 2000 years ago. A popular Chinese legend, it's a story, historical but not authenticated, like nobody knows anything about it, but it's a story. It says that a poor farmer tied a string to his hat to keep it from blowing away on a windy day. But the wind was so strong that his hat flew up and he tried to save it by holding onto the string. Imagine his wonder when he saw the hat sail with the wind, moving gracefully this way and that, and thus was born the first kite. See, according to a Chinese legend, there was a poor farmer. excuse me. There was a poor farmer who tied a sting. Sting means a thread to his hat to keep it from blowing. He was working on the field, so he tied his hat with a sting so that it could not blow away with the wind. But the wind was so strong, and the hat flew up, and he tried to save it by holding on to the string. He was holding the string like this so that the hat could not go with the wind. And he was so wondered by seeing it that how so wonderfully the hat was moving like here and there. Okay, so like this the first kite was born. After that, the hat was replaced by the pieces of silk, and they were stretched over a light frame of bamboo. When the Chinese started making paper from the inner bark of the mulberry tree, the bamboo is made from a bark of a tree. Okay, and Chinese, they started making paper from a mulberry tree's bark. Silk gave way to paper. After that, when Chinese started making paper, the silk cloth, it was replaced by the paper, and the kite, as we now know, it came into being. So the silk was replaced by the paper, and the presently how we know the kite, like we can see the kites, they are came into being. Kite flying spread from China across Asia to India, brought by travelers and traders. Marco Polo, the famous explorer, took it to Europe in the 13th century. Now, kite flying is spread from China across Asia to India, and it was brought up by some travelers or traders who always used to travel from one country to another. Marco Polo he is a famous explorer, means whatever he sees an exciting thing, he brings it to everybody. So he took it to Europe in the 13th century. In India, especially in places where winter is harsh, means too much cold. In India, where the places where the winter is too much, like where it is too much cold, in some places, the arrival of spring is eagerly waited. Okay, in the spring season, they used to fly kites. In northern India, Rajasthan and Gujarat, paper kites are flown as a part of the celebration of the Basant festival. Okay, so in Rajasthan and Gujarat, the kites are flown as a part of the celebration of the Basant festival. So in Japan and China, there are special days of Thanksgiving. On those days, the kites are flown. When kites are flown, in these two countries, kites made in the shapes of birds, dragons and butterflies are flown to honor the gods. They make different shapes and sizes of kites, like birds, dragons and butterflies, and they are flown to honor their gods. In Asia, kite fighting is a popular sport. The kites used for the fight are stronger than ordinary kites. They are made much more stronger than the ordinary kites. The string is strengthened. String means that thread which is being tied with the kite. It is strengthened with a coating of a secret paste made of some sticky substance, means glue, such as cooked rice or raw eggs, okay, and gum, to which is added finely powdered glass. Glass means glass only. They make it powder and mix it with those glues. In India, this paste is called manja. We call it manja in India. And each contestant has his own recipe that will make his string as sharp as a knife. So these strings are as sharp as knives. The sharpness of the string is all important in kite flying contest, because the whole purpose of the sport is to cut the string of as many kites as possible. They used to cut others' kites. The manja is applied on the string with great care and allowed to dry. It is then rolled onto a spool called a charkhi, which is made of wood. You all may have seen this. Fighter kites come in different sizes, shapes and names. Now this fighter kite, they come in different shapes, sizes and names. They used to name it also. In India and Pakistan, there is the gudda or male kites, which is heavier and larger than the female kite called guddi. So gudda is a male kite which is heavier than the female kite, that is guddi. In Thailand, the male is called chula and the female is called pakpao. See, there are different names in different countries. In Gujarat and Rajasthan, kite flying festivals are held every year. Enthusiasts from all over the world participate in the competition and share stories about the magic of flying kites. Enthusiast means those who are interested in kite flying. They used to participate in these sports every year. And you can see kites of the most amazing designs, and there they used to make different shapes and sizes of kites. It has been recorded that on one such occasion in Ahmedabad, 10,000 kites were airborne. Airborne means flying up in the sky. This only goes to show that Kite flying is a passion shared by the young and the old, the rich and the poor. Like, see, it is a passion of everybody's. Okay, maybe the people who is flying the kite, maybe he is young or old or rich or poor. It is everybody's passion. Human beings have always dreamt of flying. Sometimes it happens now, we feel like if we could fly like a bird. So, the humble kite made of paper and thin stripes of bamboo held by a string makes this dream come true. So, through this kite flying, we can fulfill our dreams. We can imagine that we are flying in the sky. So this is all about the story, children. I want all of you to go through it, and if you have any difficulty in understanding the story, you can call me up or you can message me also. Question answer also I will be giving you. Goodbye. Take care.